Hello, and welcome to Elkin's Word for today, the audio devotional. God bless you as you listen. Series title: Faith Lessons from Hebrews 11. Day 43. Faith, seeing the invisible. For he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 27. Precisely how does one see something that is invisible? Isn't that a paradox? Well, not according to Hebrews 11 verse 27. Seeing beyond the physical realm is a function and benefit of faith. That's why Paul says in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 18, we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. Faith makes people endure hardships and contradictions because they are privy to what lies ahead of them in the future. They'll press on even in adversity. Biblical history is replete with such extraordinary heroes. Joseph had an unusually arduous life as a young boy. He was betrayed by his own brothers, moved from being daddy's boy to being a slave in a foreign land, lied against and thrown into prison by the master he served faithfully, and was then forgotten for 2 full years by somebody he once helped. In all of these calamitous years, not once did Joseph flip it. He was calm because he knew what he saw. And what he saw was what saw him through it all, till he became the de facto leader of the ancient Egyptian empire. Moses left the comfort and pleasure of the palace and traded it for life with Hebrew slaves. Instead of potentially being the pharaoh, he became a fugitive. Instead of living a life of royal luxury, he contented himself with working under a lowly nomad for 40 years. It was absolute lunacy, but not for once did he regret his decision to defend that Hebrew slave. He was calm because he knew what he saw, and what he saw was that he was the deliverer of his people from bondage of slavery. Acts chapter 7 verse 23 to 25. David was a faithful shepherd boy who was anointed to be king by Samuel himself. But far from an elevation in his social status, he got lower. He moved from being a nondescript, law-abiding citizen to public enemy number 1. As a result, he became a vagabond. His benefactors were executed and his beneficiaries insulted him. His wife was taken from him, and one time he had to feign insanity just to survive. Despite all these, he never gave up because he was persuaded that he was the anointed king of Israel and that God's promise would never fail. Moving on to the believers in the book of Acts, only an insight beyond the physical could have made them endure the gruesome persecution they faced everywhere they went with the gospel. Stephen, the first Christian martyr ever, was stoned to death by the Jewish leaders. He is a literal example of seeing the invisible. As he was speaking to the Jewish leaders, he stopped all of a sudden and looked up towards heaven and saw the glory of God and Jesus standing on the right hand of God. This is why he was able to ask God to forgive his attackers during his very painful execution. Acts chapter 7 verse 55 and 60. Space would fail us to mention the likes of Mary, Paul, Peter, James, John. The list goes on. The one thing that characterized their exploits in life was their uncanny insight beyond the reaches of the human eye. Faith empowers you to see the invisible, and when you see the invisible, you can do the impossible. We'll pause our meditations on Hebrews 11 here. Amen. More blessings await you today. You will not miss them in Jesus' name. This was an audio recording of Elkin's Word for Today, the devotional for growing believers by Greg Elkin. For more information and other edifying resources, or to support this growing work, visit us at www.gregelkan.com. That's GREGELKAN.com. You can send your comments or questions by WhatsApp or Telegram to +234 813 664 2912. God bless you.